Welcome to Let's Talk Football with me, Chris.
And me, Richard.
A podcast bringing you the latest in football news. We discuss all the big talking points from the world of football and discuss all the action in a week to come.
In this week's podcast, England show their quality in a 3-0 win over Wales, who leave the World Cup at the group stage. Brazil are looking strong as they win their second game, and they are joined by France as the only other team to score 6 points out of 2 games so far.
Well, with lots to get through and lots of World Cup action, let's talk football. Well, here we are.
Hello, everybody.
Second podcast of the World Cup. We are.
Are you enjoying it?
Yeah, I am overall.
Yeah, me too.
There's been some good games. There's been some real bad games.
Yeah, there have been some very terrible games. But yeah,
There's
mostly
been
at
some
10
good-
o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. Well, not you say mostly. We had the 3-3, didn't we, the other day?
Yeah, well, I've got a little stat for you for that one.
Go on, then.
I said it during the commentary that 47% of the goals came in that game of the 10 o'clock kickoffs.
Oh, lovely. At least they pulled it back.
At least they pulled it, yeah.
In literally the last one.
Literally the last 10 o'clock game.
That was very exciting to see.
It was.
There was two teams who needed to win, but neither of them did. It didn't really do them any favours, but we had a good game of football out of it, so we take that.
Definitely.
So let's get into the real business. Let's have a chat about England.
Indeed. What a performance.
Really good.
Yeah.
Really good second half. Even in the first half, really, they probably could have taken a few more chances, I think, a few more risks.
Yeah, Marcus Rashford was unlucky with the one in the first half, wasn't he?
Yeah, I feel, obviously, hindsight, and I'm no expert, but I kind of just felt like he could have just dragged it around him.
Yeah.
Because Danny Ward was always seemed to be going to Danny Ward's left, so Rashford's right, as he was falling. I thought he could have just dragged it round him to the left. Yeah. But I'm not a striker.
Beautiful thing, yeah.
I'm not a striker, I don't know. I just felt that's what he could have done. But then in the second half, he gets the free kick. What a free kick.
Oh, amazingly good. Yeah.
What a free kick.
First free kick goal of the tournament.
Yeah, the last one in the World Cup. You know what the last one was before that?
Yeah, Kieran Trippier.
Yeah. Kieran Trippier's in the semi-final.
I know my stuff. Come on.
So there we are.
Yeah.
So it was a really lovely free kick, and I thought England in the second half they upped the pace. Obviously, he made the switch to swap the Rashford and Foden the other sides.
Yeah.
Which kind of created a bit more of a dilemma. It kept the width I felt for England then, because they had the option of going outside, and even like Rashford's second goal, you could see that the defender, I forget who it was.
Ben Davies. No, that was the second
it was
goal.
Roberts, yeah. Wasn't? Was it Roberts? Was it?
Yeah, Connor Roberts would have been on the right hand side. Yeah.
Okay, but Rashford's second one anyway. Whoever the defender was, you could see he thinks, right, I need to keep him on his right side. I need to keep him on his right side.
Yeah.
And Rashford went, all right then. And went on his left.
Danny Ward doesn't cover himself in glory with that.
He doesn't, but I think he sees that really late. That one. Yeah. I mean, he didn't do well for the free kick either.
No.
But I think even for that one, I've got a bit more sympathy for him with Rashford's second one, because it comes through the player in front of the defender's leg. I think it was Rondon in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
It comes through that leg, and then it's in a tricky. I think that's always a tricky spot for a goalkeeper when you hit it by their feet, because it's hard to get down
quickly
to get down there to it when it's in and around your feet. And if you're seeing it late, he tried to react as best he could, but it just hit his heel and goes in, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So I've got a bit of sympathy with him for that one, because he doesn't see it till late. But the free kick, I thought he's. And everyone's seen this now probably. He's taken too many steps. Why is he stepping to the right behind the wall?
Yeah, he just gives Marcus Rashford an open sort of half the net.
That's it. And he hits it so hard and with a lot of pace, it just went flying past him.
Yeah.
That one was always going to be difficult. But and then obviously the Foden goal, all the clamour was there for him to play.
Mm-hmm.
And then he got it.
That's good work from Rashford. Obviously, he puts Ben Davies under pressure, wins the ball back. And then Harry Kane, he might not be scoring any goals at the World Cup, but he is certainly providing. Yeah.
No, he did. Well, yeah, he's joint top assist, isn't he? Or the top assist in the tournament.
He's the top assist so far. Yeah.
So yeah, he's doing what he does really, and he puts them balls into areas where he wants them. If he was on the other end, he knows where he wants them put.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And in that area, and Foden did really well to just kind of
guide it in,
go into the area and get into the position. I thought Bellingham played really well again.
He did, yeah, definitely. Henderson coming into the side, I was worried about that, but actually it worked quite well.
Yeah, because he just brings that steadiness, the experience. You know, he knows he can keep the ball ticking over, and that's what he does.
Just to get around the pitch and
that's it.
Find pockets of space,
and create the flair element really that you wanted. And Bellingham was able to create those little bits of flair in the midfield, while Rice was in there, kind of
in the dirt,
breaking stuff up.
Yeah.
So no, overall it was really good. Yeah, I still thought it was an opportunity to bring Connor Cody on, and I'm keep gonna hammer in this. I want to see Connor Cody on the pitch at some point.
Okay.
I thought this is brilliant. I mean, he sat there for 2 tournaments and not kicked a ball.
No.
I thought it would have been a nice opportunity just to give him 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, and he brings Grealish on instead. And I thought, well, Grealish just plays. You know.
To be fair, I thought he was good with his substitutions. Obviously, with Kane coming off on the hour, obviously the job was done.
Yeah, I think the 2-0, it was time to get people on, wasn't it? So, he
obviously getting Calvin Phillips on gets him some minutes.
Yeah.
Callum Wilson obviously needed some minutes as well, because, you know, if we're going to go far in the tournament, extra time and things like that may well be a factor.
Yeah, and it's good to see Trent come on as well.
Yes, yeah.
I think the plan probably was only to give Walker 60 minutes because obviously it's his first game back from his injury.
Since sort of October time, yeah.
Yeah, so give him 60 minutes and then it gives you an opportunity, given the game, because it was you know, I think if the game's still in the balance, it might have been Trippier that came on at that point.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think Shaw took a bit of a knock, which is why that substitution happened anyway. So Trent probably would have ended up on the pitch anyway at that point.
Yeah.
So it was nice to see a couple of faces get some game time.
As for Wales, I think
Wales
they lost it in the second game, didn't they?
Yeah,
they gave themselves far too much to do.
Yeah, I feel though overall it's just been a tournament too far for a lot of them, their top class players, and they really need to. Because I looked and I'm thinking, well, who's next? That's what I was sitting watching Wales.
Off the rank,
yeah. Who's next? I mean, you know, they've got, you know, people like Wilson and Ampadu and that are still relatively young.
Yeah.
And the striker that came on,
Brendan Johnson's probably their next big thing, I think.
So
he's got that sort of Aaron Ramsey look about him that he can turn a game.
So yeah, I'm just struggling to see now where their next line comes from. I think they'll probably qualify for the Euros, because I think not qualifying for the Euros is actually more difficult than qualifying for the Euros right now.
And obviously with the World Cup being a much bigger World Cup next time,
well, yeah, I was thinking about that, and I was just thinking, well, what are the extra allocations for European sides in that, or was it more around getting other confederates more time?
I think, well, obviously with it being in America, obviously the USA qualify, Mexico qualify,
and Canada,
and so do Canada.
Yeah.
So I would say Europe will probably get maybe 3 or 4 more spaces.
Yeah, we'll have to see how that all kind of works.
Yeah.
But I think they'll struggle to get to the World Cup next time unless someone else has kind of come through.
Yeah, because Bale won't be there, Ramsey won't be there.
Yeah.
Ben Davies probably won't be there, neither will Joe Allen. So they lose that core of sort of group of players. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, that's really. I felt like this was the end of an era for him, really, and you know, it was a great achievement for him qualifying for this. But you know, you think about how they got there.
Yeah. And obviously how long it's been since they have been here. Yeah.
Exactly. So, you know, lots of positives to take from it, from a Wales perspective, in terms of the achievement.
Wanted a little bit more, wouldn't they?
Yeah, I think that Iran game.
Oh, the last 10 minutes of that Iran game. Yeah. That was the killer.
It all kind of fell apart for him, didn't it, unfortunately?
Kung Fu kick. Not a good idea.
Indeed. So that's England. Then obviously earlier in the day, so USA as well. Sorry, were the other team to go through. Pulisic throwing himself in the danger, quite literally.
Yeah, what a crazy last 10 minutes for that was, because our game was over pretty much, so I was flicking between the two, and Iran, they just lacked a little bit of patience, a little bit of calmness in that last 10 minutes. I mean, they had 9 minutes of stoppage time, and they just kept overhitting the ball.
Yeah, no, it was a bit much, wasn't it, from him? But
I Fairness, I think the Americans deserve to get through. They did a number on us on the Friday.
Yeah, they needed it. They got what they needed, and I think that the change in the mentality as well, because the USA went in knowing they needed to win.
Yes.
Whereas Iran knew a draw would do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that kind of mentality shift can sometimes be a bit of an issue.
That's the Dutch for the USA.
So yeah, they'll play the Netherlands, who won their game against Qatar quite easily. Gakpo with his third goal of the tournament.
He's been a very good player so far, hasn't he?
He's been very good. He's been the difference maker for the Netherlands so far, really showing his qualities and his potential. So they'll be happy with that. And then they are joined in the last 16 by Senegal from that group.
Yeah, it was a really good game, the Senegal game.
Yeah, that was the game. That's the game I watched, to be honest, because I thought, well, out of the two games, that's the one that's got the most interest. It's really got
something riding on it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought it was a shame because obviously they get the penalty, and the penalty is ridiculous.
Yeah.
The way that he didn't look at the ball.
No.
He just walked up, looked the keeper dead in the eye, and kicked the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, all that takes is a half a gust of wind, though. And you're done, ain't you? Do you know what I mean? Gust, like a little gust of wind there that takes the ball away from your foot. Or the last minute, you panic, and you're not quite sure the ball's there. You can end in disaster then.
And then Ecuador got themselves level, and I thought, hello, we've got a game on now.
Yeah, and then straight away, wasn't it? Practically straight away, like 2 minutes.
But again, Ecuador, last 15 minutes, they were just trying to force it rather than...
Yeah, and I think you kind of get into that desperate state though, don't you? You know what I mean? Without, you've not got the experience as well as being in those situations as much as others, then it does become a bit trickier. You think about the experience that Senegal have got in tournaments.
Yeah, and obviously winning the African Nations Cup last time. Yeah.
Obviously, it's still the first time they've made it out of a group stage of the World Cup for 20 years, though.
It's going to be a difficult one for us, I think, that one.
It is going to be a tricky one, because I think they'll bring the same sort of energy that the USA brought, so we need to be on the front foot.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to be on the front foot from the get-go, I think, on that one. And, it might be a messy game. I think they'll try and break us up as much as they can.
Yeah.
I think their quality at the top end might be what goes against them.
Yeah.
Without
especially
getting
Mane.
into these. Yeah. Exactly. Without having your main man coming into the latter stages of these tournaments, who have the experience and the quality.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then that might go against them. But defensively they're well organised. Obviously with Koulibaly at the back.
Yeah.
That they're well set.
They've got Mendy in goal as well, who's
pulled off a great save as well yesterday.
Yeah.
So there's lots to Senegal that I've really enjoyed watching this tournament, to be honest.
But hopefully they go no further.
Hopefully they go no further and England can do the biz. But we'll see how that goes. I think Holland, USA, I mean, obviously Holland will go in the favourites.
I don't really know how that's going to go, to be honest. I think that might be a bit of a struggle for the Dutch. I think
they'll
the
struggle,
Americans
but I think
are organised.
They are, but I think that at the end of the day, the quality, I think...
the quality USA, in the attacking third, will be the difference.
The USA will be relying on Pulisic and McKennie in particular to kind of create opportunities for them. But
it's probably going to be a scrappy game as well.
Yeah, and Holland and the Netherlands have a lot more that they can come to. They've got the likes of Depay, they've got Gakpo, they've got De Jong,
Weghorst. They've got options off the bench. Vincent Janssen.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, Klaasen's played really well as well this tournament.
Yeah, he made the difference in the first game, didn't he, Klaasen?
Yeah. So all these things are, there's more options for Holland. So things don't quite go right, but there's always a chance. Knockout football, and anything can happen in knockout football, as we know. That'd be very interesting. All right, let's have a look elsewhere then. What we've got going on then. So I think Brazil are still looking.
Brazil are still looking the favourites.
Yeah, for me, I just think their strengths in depth. I mean, in some respects, it does remind me of England a little bit in terms of the options.
Yeah.
But I feel Brazil, they're a step above England, to be honest, in terms of the talent.
Their biggest thing will be who they play in the last 16.
Yeah.
If they play Portugal in the last 16,
Oh, it's a tricky tie, but I still think they come out on top over Portugal.
Probably, yeah. Probably.
I think defensively, Portugal are there for the taking, especially
they're a lot
if you've
older
got
at the back, aren't they?
Exactly, and if Pepe's still needing to play the games, which he played, didn't he, the other night? He had to come in because of injury.
He did.
And if he's still in, if I'm Richarlison, if I'm Vinicius Junior, I am targeting running in behind him.
Yeah.
And what Portugal will do is Portugal will probably have to sit deep off the back of that and rely on the pace up front of maybe a Leao will probably come in to start, maybe, or João Felix.
Yeah.
They'll need to rely on that in that scenario. But I still feel like Brazil would probably just have that a little bit too much for Portugal.
Should we go through the rest of the groups and sort of say where we think everything's going to pan out? Should we
we
get
can
our crystal ball out and just sort of...
We can do very, very quickly.
So where do we think Group C is going to end up?
So if we look at Group C, I feel that Argentina will probably pull it out against Poland.
Yeah.
And then it'll all rely on the result for Poland as to what happens with Saudi Arabia and Mexico. Because
wouldn't it be great if Saudi Arabia got through?
It would be very good, to see, because they're really flying the flag, I feel, for that Middle East.
Yeah. And I think they can beat Mexico.
They absolutely can beat Mexico. There's definitely no reason why they can't. But Mexico, let's not count Mexico out.
No.
Especially against Saudi Arabia. I'm still very surprised that Mexico didn't take Hernandez.
Yes, given they haven't scored so far. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's experienced though. Do you know what I mean? More than anything else.
Discounted him because he's apparently too old, which makes me feel really old as well.
I know he's not that bad, honestly.
No.
And then you got Lozano, who they're relying on, maybe Jimenez. But they've not really done it, really.
No.
So far in the tournament. But, they'll be up for it. The Mexicans, they'll be fighting. I mean, they have a very good record of getting out of groups.
Yeah.
Mexico, getting into that second round. So, you shouldn't discount them.
And we do have the possibility of losing Argentina.
We do have that possibility. I still think they'll find. I mean, the Poland game's going to be... Because Poland will be difficult to beat. Because Poland will just want the point.
Yeah.
Won't they? So they'll probably sit back, try and soak up a lot of the stuff. And I feel like it's going to need a moment of magic from the main man again.
Yes.
Potentially, But when you look at the team, because Argentina haven't played well this tournament.
No. Was it a scrape past Mexico?
That's it.
Yeah.
Messi found that something special, didn't he? That he has that ability of doing. But they have been fairly solid at the back, Argentina, since the first game. The changes he made... Other than the fact that the fullbacks couldn't control the ball in the second game. Yeah. Defensively, or the organisation was a lot better, I felt, in that second game. Having Martinez and whoever it was at the back with him has really made a bit of a difference for Argentina. But I feel like, I still think it'll be... I don't know. I still think Argentina will do the job. And then I can't really call the second one.
Poland. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it could still be Mexico.
It could still be Mexico. You're quite right.
So we'll see what happens in that one.
And obviously, France are already through in Group D.
Yeah, Group D, France are through, and then it'll be whatever happens. So the two ties are, remind me.
There's Australia versus Denmark and Tunisia against France.
So it feels like a bit of a shootout between Australia and Denmark, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's a huge game for Denmark. I feel like Tunisia... I mean, France will probably make some changes.
Yeah, because they're already through.
Because they can.
And they're guaranteed top spot, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Australia would need to win by 7 goals, I think.
Yeah.
To take that away from them, so I don't think that's going to happen.
No.
So I kind of expect, Tunisia have that chance that France are going to rest some players, but that French squad is runs deep, and they'll all be wanting to prove themselves because they'll all want a shot at the round of 16 game.
And Mbappe will be on the pitch just out at some point.
Yeah, and I imagine I still think Mbappe will probably start, to be honest, because he'll be on for the golden. He'll be like, I want a golden boot.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
I agree with you. I think it's between Australia and Denmark.
Yeah, I think that's the shootout, isn't it? And it's a huge game for Denmark.
Yeah.
Huge game for Australia, really. For them to get out of the group stage would be phenomenal.
Would be very good for them as well. Yeah.
Group E then. Spain, Japan, Costa Rica, Germany, and this one is well and truly up in the air.
Yep.
So Germany faced
Japan last time around after they beat Germany.
Yeah, I mean that was the biggest favour that Germany needed.
Yeah.
Now they just need to take advantage against Costa Rica.
Yeah, but then they've got to hope that Japan don't get anything from Spain. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think the Germans will scrape through that. I think we'll be seeing Spain and Germany go through, I think.
And then
but the upset
could potentially be, and that'll be the winner of Group F, won't it? The German team, if they finish second. Yeah.
But Group F is, other than Canada, we know have been eliminated.
Yeah. Again, that's up for grabs as well. I like this, that it's all still up in the air.
And it's all because, there's only the two teams that won both their first round.
Yeah.
Their first two games, Brazil and France. So it leaves all the opportunities available. So we've got Croatia, Morocco and Belgium. Remind me of the games in that one.
So it's Croatia against Belgium, Canada against Morocco.
So Morocco you'd kind of fancy.
Yeah.
Against Canada, who have, they got their goal.
Yeah, but they've got nothing to lose, Canada, I suppose.
No, they haven't got anything to lose, but I think, they might have lost that edge.
Yeah.
And Morocco
and then
really only need a point.
Belgium and Croatia.
And it could be a shootout between Belgium and Croatia.
Another country that have probably had the best of their
Well, both
squad.
Of those, really.
Yeah,
both of those teams really are kind of at that end of that edge. But, I mean, don't count Belgium out just yet.
No, they've got Kevin De Bruyne. No.
I do think exactly. I do think Croatia will. I do fancy Croatia though, if I'm honest.
Croatia are the more pragmatic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, you saw what they did to Canada.
Exactly.
And just tore them apart.
Yeah.
Once they got the goal, and they were it was all over.
That was really good. So I think it'll be Croatia and Morocco. Actually, I'm calling the upset that Belgium don't make it out group.
Okay.
Group G then. Brazil obviously through.
Yeah.
More than likely will take the top spot.
Yeah.
So
they play Cameroon and Serbia play Switzerland.
So it might again just be the shootout between the two Europeans there.
Yeah.
But again, Brazil will rest and rotate.
Yeah.
But again, it's that whole thing. The squad runs deep for Brazil, and there'll be players wanting to prove that they deserve a starting spot in the knockout stages. So the motivation's going to be there for those players to win.
I would say the Swiss experience will probably get them through.
Yeah, I think so. I think they've also got a bit more than Serbia. I think they offer a bit more going forward than Serbia do.
Yeah.
That decent. You don't get me wrong with the likes of Tadic and that in that. But I think it's going to be a very tight game.
They've also got Mitrovic down the centre who can, but defensively they didn't look that great against Cameroon.
Yeah. Yeah. But they need Embolo really, Switzerland. They need Embolo to be making runs in behind. Because I felt that he wasn't really doing that.
No.
In the other games. So we'll see how that goes. That's going to be an interesting one. I think Switzerland might. Switzerland again, they're ones that just have this knack of getting out of groups in tournaments.
They do. Yeah.
So I fancy that. And then let's go to Portugal. Oh, Portugal, sorry. I forgot to mention Portugal have won their first two games as well.
They have. Despite Ronaldo claiming his goal.
Claiming the goal, but no, Bruno says... Well, Bruno gets both the goals in that game.
Bruno said, and Adidas agreed.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder who sponsors Bruno Fernandes.
Could be Adidas.
Well, they're definitely Man United's maker. Yeah. I know that much.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was a good win for Portugal the other day.
Yeah.
So they're through at this point as well.
Yeah.
And then it'll be Ghana and.
So it's Portugal taking on South Korea, Ghana against Uruguay.
Ghana, Uruguay. So again, mind you, Portugal are beatable.
Yeah, I don't think the Koreans have got enough to beat them, to be honest.
No, they need Son to be able to, but they can't seem to get him in a good position.
They can't seem to get him into a decent. Yeah. They can't seem to get him into the game, which is a lot like we were talking about with who we were talking about last week, where we were talking about he's the main guy.
It was Lewandowski, wasn't it?
No, it was the Iranian fella.
Oh, Taremi, yeah.
Yeah. Son's kind of in that similar vein of being sort of the star. Yeah. It's just the supporting cast that have got to try and get him in the positions to get him in on goal. I don't think I've seen him have a shot yet.
No, it's been a really, really difficult tournament for Son.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, I'll be delighted if he comes back early.
Yeah. but you never know though, do you? You don't know. Things can happen. Things can change very quickly. The other game, Uruguay-Ghana, I think is going to be very, very interesting. Again, this feels like a tournament where Uruguay's stars are just that little bit too old. Obviously, they've got Darwin.
Yeah.
They've got Nunez.
They've got Bentancur, who was very unlucky with a shot the other day.
Yeah, and they've got then the experience of Suarez and Cavani.
But wouldn't it be poetic if Ghana knocked Uruguay out of the World Cup?
That it's going to be a feisty game. That one.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There is history
there. There's so much history there.
That is popcorn at the ready, folks, for Friday afternoon.
If Suarez starts, he's going to get kicked about like nothing he's ever seen before.
Yep.
So it'll be interesting to see.
And I will enjoy watching it.
But yeah, no, that group I can't really call that one, to be honest, because Portugal can have an off day, and I think they probably, Korea could do a job on them. And then the other game, there's going to be so much emotion. I think the thing that might become to the detriment of Ghana actually is the emotion. If they carry too much emotion from what happened before into that game, then that could really that might swing it the other way. Possibly. So it'd be very interesting to see how that all plays out. But no, we've got lots of things to look forward to still in the last round of games. So we'll see how that all plays out. Yeah, so we've rounded up. We'll see how we go. Next time we're going to talk, we'll know whether England are on their way home or whether they've made it through to the quarterfinals. Let's hope we are celebrating a win for England on Sunday. Come on, England. But for now, everyone, don't forget, if you want to get in touch with us about anything football related, then you can tweet us at Let's Football Pod. You can email us at letsfootballpod@gmail.com. We'll be back next week, like I said, with all the updates in the football at the World Cup to look forward to. So, look after yourselves, and we will see you all then, I guess. All right.
Bye.
Bye.